What do you think's going to happen this week? I mean, with the whole Russia thing.
The Russia thing is just a big nothing burger.
Really?
Also interesting is, remember, it's illegal to possess these stolen documents. It's different for the media. So everything you learn about this, you're learning from us.
He could have undermined the messaging so much that he can actually control exactly what people think, and that is our job.
Yeah.
At this moment in history, as we're looking at efforts across the country to prevent people from being able to exercise their fundamental rights,
Jobs of the past are just not going to come back. And when somebody says that he's going to bring all these jobs back, well, how exactly are you going to do that? What are you going to do? I'm going to negotiate a better deal. Well, how? What magic wand do you have? How exactly?
Oop. Oop. Oh, that's not what we want.
I don't know.
That's a cool character.
That's our new friend.
Nice.
Pregnant man.
Oh, the pregnant guy. What's he doing sitting next to me, right? Oh, he's next to Brandon.
Oh man, is Barnes' mic still messing up?
Messing up?
I think you're going to need to talk directly into it today without.
Directly into the mic.
What is going on? Well, maybe Chris can let us know. He says he's already triggered.
No laughing.
No laughing in the microphone. Chris, let us know if Barnes' mic is all messed up on that side. We are getting some serious messed up distortion. And I may just have to give him my mic and fix it later or something. We'll figure it out.
You can share one.
Hello everybody. How you doing out there?
Greetings.
Good evening, viewers.
Today we have a special guest, Jasper Kahn.
Hello.
What is it Bolsky calls you? Many a nickname man. But
I have nicknames just like most humans.
Jasper, we met through skateboarding and doing stuff of concrete nature. After, we were introduced through family.
A long time ago, but we've been hanging out pretty tough for the past 8 years or so.
You can hear me.
Yeah.
I'm heard.
Alrighty. Maybe it's just a headphone issue. But before we get into all Jasper stuff and a little interview I have prepped for him, we're going to do some news, this week's news. And Barney has a list, and I have a list of stuff that just was on the radar. I'll start with MSNBC actually aired neo-Nazis training people. I don't know if they knew that they were neo-Nazis, but they Crystal and Cigar from Breaking Points actually did a nice segment on it. I don't know if you happen to catch that, Barnes?
No, I didn't catch that one.
Oh. What about you, Jasper? Did you see that?
I didn't see that, and most likely I will have no information on any of the current topics spoken about today.
You know what I find curious is that we don't hear anything from the National Socialist Movement, which was the biggest white supremacist group prior to 2016 or whatever.
Right.
They usually go by the moniker NSM.
And now they're just gone.
Yeah, they don't. Yeah.
Well, they're around, but nobody's saying
I haven't
anything.
checked on them, but yeah, I haven't heard anything.
Then there's Zero Hedge, which is kind of a what people call right-wing website and financial advice. And this falls into the anyone who disagrees with me is Hitler category, where the media and U.S. State Department, or I forget which agency exactly, they're telling everyone that they're Russian propaganda. So that falls once again into the Hillary, Tulsi, Bernie, Jill Stein. Anyone who disagrees with me is
Adolf Hitler.
Adolf. Where'd that buzzing come from? Let's get that off of that signal there. This maybe, I don't know.
Well, read that.
Oh, me read.
Yeah, people just go to that. It's like an insult now.
Yeah.
Most people, I don't think that I know, most of them at least, can't define Nazism. So, not that I'm sticking up for it or anything, but it's good to know if, in case it starts sneaking around again.
What else did you have on your list?
I got the Moderna CEO. He deleted his Twitter and sold his stock this week, and Moderna's stock plunged on this Friday, I guess.
Yeah, there's a big crash on the stock supposedly. Like Moderna, I didn't look into it exactly, but they lost a lot of money.
Yeah, it seems that they're down 145.74 or 42%.
Ooh, that's like a Facebook crash.
I guess so, yeah.
Meta, my bad.
Meta crash.
The media I found didn't report on the Hillary story at all on the left. The right, of course, they jumped on it. The only article I could find was from Vanity Fair, in which they profusely claimed, "You'll never believe it, but Hillary Clinton did not, in fact, spy."
Yeah, they were talking about the Vanity Fair thing. I don't know how they know that unless they have privy to information that nobody else has somehow, because John Durham hasn't said anything. He did have enough evidence to get a court subpoena, I think, right? I mean,
well, he was looking into lawyers that were connected to the Hillary campaign.
Right. The main lawyer, I guess, into the campaign. Now, that investigation started in like 2017 or something. He's been on this for years.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was, what is the lawyer's name here?
I had it.
Sussman.
Sussman, that's it.
Yeah. The prosecutor has accused Mr. Sussman of lying during a September 2016 meeting with an FBI official about Trump's possible links to Russia. So, he lied, made up some stuff.
Well, I guess we'll find out, but,
Yeah, but not report on it. That's what.
Not a report on it.
It's weird.
Right. The first thing they mentioned about it was when, Hillary was in the New York Democratic National Convention meeting this week, and she was saying that whenever Trump gets in trouble, that they stir up. And I'm like, this has been going on for years, and the trouble she's referring to is somebody on the White House staff saying they found paper in the toilet, or something.
Yeah, Mar-a-Lago toilet bowl.
So I don't know how those two really compare. You got somebody who's a Department of Justice investigator and has been on the case for years, and somebody that worked at the White House.
What do you think about Mar-a-Lago toilet bowls?
Mar-a-Lago toilet bowls.
Super important, right?
Then I guess you could put any kind of document in some water and rip it up and say that you found this in this toilet.
Very important stuff.
It would probably be hard to read.
Hoagie Industries is on the road, driving and listening.
Yeah. Yeah, Hoagie.
I don't know what Hoagie's is, but
he's a force of human nature.
All right.
It's like he's a sub or a hero.
A hero.
Or a hoagie.
He's definitely a hero. The Super Bowl celebs with no masks.
Man. Yeah, a crowd of them and no masks. All the concerts came back this week down south. It's funny, especially in like cases like Ellen DeGeneres, where she had a real attitude towards people that weren't wearing masks on her show, which her show, whatever. But then for her to be in a crowd of, I don't know how many people that stadium fit, but it's a Super Bowl, so it's over 50,000, right?
A lot of people.
Right.
There's a really funny clip online. I tried to get it for the show. I didn't happen to get to it though, but it's from from Interstellar where Matthew McConaughey is in the fourth or whatever dimension, the 10th dimension, and he's behind the wall and he's crying because he's looking at his daughter, and they like clipped it as like Matthew was the kids in the school with masks on, and they're looking through a little window
at the Super Bowl,
watching all the people at the Super Bowl with their non-masking smiles and having fun.
Yeah, that was a good game, I thought, though, overall, the Super Bowl. I enjoyed it, what I did see.
Yeah, I watched a little bit of it. It looked rigged to me.
Really?
No, I'm just joking.
Everyone was talking about the halftime show.
I didn't see it. Did you see it?
I did not. I didn't.
Did you hear about it?
Nope. Except that it was not up to date.
It was a lot of 90s rap stars. I didn't really like that much in the 90s, so it was kind of like, all right.
I mean, Snoop was cool. I liked Snoop.
Sure. I mean, I didn't own an album or anything, though.
Yeah. But I was pretty much well over it after, Dre was like, Chronogram came out. Was that what he called it? Or the Chronic?
The Chronic, yeah.
I was like, yes, Dre's continuing on. All the other stuff before that, though, was like, I was into, and then, I was like,
whatever. At least he plays instruments. He was there. I don't know if any of the other ones actually play instruments or not. I feel like Mary J. Blige might, but at least she can sing. She's a talented singer.
Like I said, I didn't even know who was there. I just knew there was a couple. There was like Dr. Dre and his acolytes.
Yeah, it was like 50 Cent, Eminem, Snoop Dogg, Dr. Dre, some other dude who I don't know.
You like all those guys, Jasper, or what?
I'm into their music, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't have any of their albums, but I can get down with all of them.
They get you hyped.
They can get it hyped.
They get you hyped.
Yeah.
45-year-old white girls are into
it. How about
another thing at the Super Bowl is this was the big news. I found this is a shocker. Willie Nelson ditched New Balance.
I saw the commercial.
Yeah, he's been wearing New Balance for decades.
Skechers.
Now Skechers, yeah. Willie Nelson taking on Skechers.
Your boy.
How many years was he wearing New Balances?
Decades.
Decades.
Yeah.
Well, you see what's going to happen. He's just going to get sore feet now.
He's going to go back to New Balance.
Go back to New Balance.
He's just going to get sore feet, man. He's old. He needs them that American-made New Balance.
Yeah, American.
What about?
He is one of the most impressive older men still doing it.
It's all that weed.
Yeah, but I heard that he stopped smoking weed.
I don't know. Maybe.
I heard that he stopped smoking weed for his health, but maybe he still eats, or
He might eat it. I heard him mention something about that once.
But we went and saw him perform this summer. It was fucking incredible.
Did you go Farm Aid? Where'd you see him?
To SPAC.
Oh, all right.
Yeah, it was so cool. And his son was on stage with him, and his son was amazing. And like to see what a father and son can like do together is really an amazing thing.
I've seen videos of them. I think he has two sons that play guitar. I'm not sure, but yeah, he plays with his son often.
Yeah, and he's got like a similar kind of voice and kind of similar style, but like new, he's like however many years younger. So it's cool to see their differences, but also see their similarities.
Yeah, yeah. He probably learned a lot from his dad, obviously. I think his son's a little bit better of a guitar player, but Willie's old, so it's kind of hard to really measure how good he was by today's.
Or the standard. He's played probably more licks than
right.
A lot of humans.
Right.
And if you're his son, you probably automatically kind of get gifted all of the talents that he had, and then you just get to build off of those.
To some extent, right?
I'm sure he said, "I forgot more than you've ever learned" to his son before.
Yeah.
What about Ukraine? We got an update on that a little bit. I saw that they were saying the U.S. media is worse than Russia's.
Oh yeah.
They're like, is like Biden's out there like predicting they're going to attack today.
Yeah, I know.
Today, no, today at 6 o'clock. Today for sure.
It's like a warmonger. What is going on? Why does he want in Ukraine so bad?
Today.
I should have looked into more of that this week. I still didn't find out if France or England are backing Ukraine or not.
If they're backing, yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure the Germans has their reservations because of their trade agreements with Russia. I'm sure they don't want Ukraine invaded either, but I can't see Germany bringing troops into Ukraine against Russia.
I was talking to my bro Ty, and I had told him the analogy that you said last week. He goes, "Oh, okay, that makes sense. It's the Bay of Pigs in reverse."
Kind of, yeah. It's a
Cuban Missile Crisis.
Cuban Missile Crisis, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it should be interesting, I remember when, the Soviets were around and they had those treaties because we had nukes in Turkey and they didn't like that. I can't imagine us going into Ukraine, how crazy they'll get. And the news is making a big deal about it. I don't know how many troops we have there, but it's not that many, right?
I haven't really looked into the numbers. I'm just surprised so many people are for war.
That's crazy. What benefit does Ukraine offer the West? Is it worth losing men over?
And the UK, I mean, not the UK, the United Nations they're not going to back Ukraine like you were saying. It's not like.
You mean NATO?
NATO, sorry, my bad.
Right.
NATO, they're not going to back them. They don't care about you.
It doesn't seem like it. I haven't heard of Italy pulling troops in, or any of the other NATO states, really.
Mm-hmm. So, all right, what else? We'll maybe get back into that a little bit. The Canadian truckers are taking the brunt of all the terrorism laws.
Yeah, they freezed all their accounts and everything. It's kind of dystopian. I believe this is the first time that Canada, as an independent sovereign nation, has ever done this. They have used that law in the past. I think they used it in World War I, World War II, and against the Quebecois in 1971. There was a Quebecois separatist group they viewed as terrorist. But yeah, they have an emergency act now.
Was it his dad that last used a similar?
I'm not sure. I'm pretty sure it was before I was born, though. I think it was 1971.
Oh, well.
Either
what
way,
else did you have in your notes? I know you had a couple of really interesting things. I'm just bringing up my stuff.
Well, I wanted to continue on that. They suspended their accounts, and they have an emergency in the country for 30 days.
They suspended the business accounts or
the truckers' accounts? Yeah.
Yeah, they just yanked their bank money, like anything in their bank. It's thank you. We're gonna monitor this, and you don't have access to it.
They seized it. Yeah, as part of a bigger crime, I guess.
It sounds really, overreacting.
Yeah, it was a lot of overreacting, and there was conflicting news. I saw that the news was reporting that SWAT teams had come in, or armored police, or whatever you want to call it, and then I saw people on the ground not being able to find those. Armored police.
I think the guy that's doing that is right. He's right there.
Okay. Yeah, that's him.
That's him. He's like, I got your bank account. I got it. Yeah.
And, then in Parliament this week, Trudeau called some. I forgot. I think they're called premiers. There's have some Jewish premier up there, or she was standing with the truckers, and Trudeau had referred to her or anyone standing with the truckers as white supremacists and, neo-Nazis. And the Jewish woman took offense and demanded an apology, which is really weird. You ever watch like English or Canadian Parliament? It's totally different than like our Congress. They're all yelling at each other.
Yeah, they're shouting each other down.
Yeah, they're shouting each other. There's hecklers.
Yeah, I've seen that. It's pretty wild.
It is. They don't talk one at a time.
It's accepted that you're supposed to shout someone down, and then just sit down like, oh man, they didn't want to hear that.
Yeah. It's pretty funny.
Yeah, I'm not for that. Imagine that coming here.
Well, that's the thing. Canada is the closest society to the United States, both physically, well,
Culturally,
and socially.
Mm-hmm.
They're very much the same as we are. The road name changes, the color changes the color of the money. But I've never been anywhere in Canada where I couldn't see an American flag if there was a Canadian flag. They always seem to have one of ours
Right.
next to one of theirs. And we share the longest border in the world. There's no way to secure that border. It's just physically impossible. No other two countries share quite as long as the border. And if you remember, it's also along Alaska too. So it's quite possible that chaos or social disruption in Canada could flood over to the States, and vice versa,
Yeah, Tim Pool had somebody on, some Civil War guy, and they were talking about the subject, and it was like, he's all talking about how America could have a civil war, but to me, the question was, it looks like they might have one in Canada first.
Yeah, it looks that way, huh?
A.
What was the count that you guys have heard of about how many truckers were in the rally?
I mean, I heard different numbers. I heard 10,000.
Yeah, to you mean like how many
Yeah, well,
in
like
total?
the biggest number like that you guys heard of, like how many trucks were actually out doing that and not working because they weren't able to be working, or they thought that going and supporting this was more important than going and making some money for the next couple of days.
There was definitely numbers in the like 40,000s.
Yeah. They had 60 miles of convoy.
70, yeah. 70 miles.
Yeah. So that's like
that's a lot of trucks.
That's fucking impressive.
Yeah,
that is seriously impressive.
Especially when you think that the population of Canada is about the same, or just a little bit less, or maybe more than California. That's it's about the same as the greater metropolitan area. So,
jeez,
almost twice the amount of land as the U.S.
Hearing about the people bringing fuel cans to the trucks, which like that was kind of one of my first thoughts was, holy shit, if these guys are like idling for days, where are they getting fuel? I mean, somebody's got the trailer with the fuel on it.
Yeah.
They're like, yeah, we'll supply it to like the guys that are just bobtailing, just the tractor. And then at some point that fuel might run out. So then the individuals are bringing them fuel tanks. And then the law was saying that you can't bring them fuel. And then everybody was bringing fuel tanks and just walking around with fuel tanks with like water in them.
Right.
That's that is a really cool way of being a peaceful protest.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they did remain peaceful, it seems.
Yeah, when everybody says they're terrorists.
Right.
In the mainstream media, that is. You have to go to what Russell Brand said the other day, the tributaries of truth on the internet. I was like, ooh, I like that.
That's a nice one. He's good. He says, he's pretty rational.
Yeah. And he's another person that's come from the left.
Right.
To like be like, oh, you guys are going like running down a road I can't follow.
Right. He's been talking about that. Another one is Bill Maher lately.
Well, Bill's still got the TDS. I like to think of kind of like what we're doing is like a Bill Maher show, but without the TDS.
Yeah, I didn't get into that.
Yeah, the derangement syndrome.
Well, I remember Trump got elected, and I was like, wow. And then everyone started flipping out on each other, and I was thinking to myself, I know a lot of Republicans. I can't just turn my back on them.
Yeah, they're not crazy.
Fucking president. You out of your mind? These people have been good to me my whole life. You want me to just say, oh, this guy's president? Sorry.
Well, that's the issue still with the left is like I was watching Bill just this past Friday or yesterday, whenever he did his show. And he still is saying to his audience, well, we're still a democracy, at least for another 3 years. Like if a Republican gets elected, it's over. And it's just fear mongering and stupid talk.
It's all I hate that shit. First of all, we're not a democracy. I don't get to vote on issues. I vote for somebody to do that for me.
Yeah.
We're a representative republic, a constitutional representative republic. And they always say that, like, when people vote, oh, if this person wins, it's a threat to our democracy, or if this person votes that way, it's a threat to our democracy. No, it's actually us exercising our democracy. And it's like that bullshit when they're out in the street. This is what democracy looks like. No, it's fucking not. It's not. That's what you walking in the street fucking looks like. When you go to the voting booth, that's what democracy looks like.
He got angry, people. He got angry.
That shit pisses me off. It's
Wow.
like when the guy from West Virginia, the senator from West Virginia, voted against the Build Back Better. And this is a threat to our democracy. No, he just fucking voted. Exact opposite, shithead. You just don't like the way he voted. That's all it is. You know, and because of shit like that, we're never gonna have any kind of chance of repairing the country.
Not when people are talking in such terms, like, yeah, it's like Hitler's getting elected.
If this person votes, it's a threat to democracy.
Anybody I don't like is Hitler.
That's a challenge book, right?
Here's another good one. I mean, this has nothing to do with how serious we just were being, but there's a movie coming out called Uncharted, starring the little Spider-Man kid, Tom Holland. Okay. And one of the reviews on Rotten Tomatoes says, you don't need to be a gamer to love Uncharted. You just need to have a very soft spot for buddy movies, maps, puzzles, pirate ships, and Holland's chest.
Holland's chest?
Yeah, it's, Tom Holland.
Oh.
So I just was like, a lot of people are like, what if a guy said that? You'd probably make some news, real news, like MSNBC, like, this pig.
Wonder Woman's chest?
Yeah,
right.
This freaking pig.
That's constant,
But I was wondering, it's that wasn't really what I wanted. Oh well, yeah. There's definitely a double standard. Women can say that. I'm happy she said that. I want women to think like that, and I want everybody to be allowed to think like that.
I mean, I'm not.
These thought crimes got to stop. Thought is not a crime.
Well, it's the social hypocrisy, really, is what it is.
Mm-hmm.
Because socially, if you did say that, say in the grocery store, you probably would catch looks. You might get a reprimand from somebody around that heard you, or someone who's going to express their disgust with it, whatever. But it happens in the public all the time. There's a lot of issues like that, like Showtime. That reminds me of Showtime this week or last week had Everything's Gonna Be All White.
Yep.
Have you seen that?
I did not watch it.
I didn't watch it either. I think they yanked it because it got such bad reviews.
It looked pretty bad.
It was just racism, and I was glad to see when I looked it up on the internet. Actually, all I found was reactions from black people, black Americans, that were like, "This is racism." I'm like, yeah, that's racism. Mm-hmm. It's good to see that there's, people.
Well, there's plenty of, I know a lot of people don't want to believe it. They want to bury their head in the sand, but there's plenty of Trump voters that, or where he got the most increase in black vote in
the most Republican votes in 40 years. Or something.
Yeah, and it's because they don't like bullshit, and they can see mainstream media just feeding them bullshit all day long.
Right, and we're all American. And
that's the point too. It's like
point. We're all American.
That should be the point.
Right.
It's like you can't be like, if the other side wins, we're all gonna die.
It's like when people go on about the Civil War, or the Confederate flag, and all this other shit. I'm like, you guys are missing the point of the war. Was that we're all American, like man, woman, child, black, white, Asian, whatever. We're all American, Confederate, Yankee, and we never pressed treason charges. Now maybe that was a mistake, but at the time, that's what they felt was best to heal the country. And they always hear people talking about the Confederates were traitors. Well, actually, they might have committed acts that were considered treasonous or could have been considered treasonous, but they never got charged. Jefferson Davis died of old age in Tennessee.
Right. Well, I think we're going to have to come back to the news later in a little bit because I want to introduce Jasper's dogs.
Oh, all right.
We forgot to introduce the pups.
Hayla, can you sit up?
She was just pawing at my paperwork, and I was like, oh, yeah, we forgot to introduce Hayla.
This is Hayla. Lex, can you sit up?
That's Lexi.
Sit up. Come here.
She's
Sit up.
she's the fuzzball.
Come on. All the way up.
Good girl.
Come here. Sit up. You got to get in the camera.
Can she smile?
There you go. Lex, can you smile for the camera?
There we go.
Almost something. Lex
Yeah, it's a
and
happy
Hayla.
They're joining us today.
Sidekicks.
brains of the operation.
Mm-hmm.
Brains of the operation. Yeah, you wouldn't know how to do anything if it weren't for them.
No.
Hayla, she has a little brain, but it's really intelligent.
Super special. Anything you want to pop off real quick before we get into an interview with Jasper?
No, we could go back to this.
Yeah, we can come back into it. That sounds great.
We're half hour in.
Half hour in. I ain't got all that much to say.
Well, we were talking about yesterday on the little preview about your brother. Do you feel like asking Barney any questions about that, or are we just? Do you think Jules is going to be offended if we're? Hi, Jules.
Hi, Jules. I
hope
don't
you're
know
watching.
I don't think he would be offended.
By what?
Yeah, exactly. By what? There's nothing. Yeah, I ain't got anything offensive to say about him.
I ha-
Jules,
when
my
he's-
brother, and Barnes have spent a lot of time together, and to me, I didn't always know what the world like they were doing together, but then I got to see after years of them doing what they do, and to see Barnes's whole gaming mecca that he's created, his whole world inside this room with a giant table where they would play
Role-playing games.
Hours on end.
role-playing games that are. It seemed like I couldn't believe that you were going to go and play again for the same game a day later. And how long is the longest game you guys have played?
Well, the longest game I played, well, DM'd is 2.5 years, but I played in games that went on 5 years in high school. We played one game that went on forever.
Wow, never-ending
5
game.
years of one game.
Yeah, it's a good prison game if you got a long sentence in prison.
Could you play another game in the midst of that, or would you only go back to that game?
Yeah, you could play another game in the midst of it, sure.
But then would you have to change everything on the table and totally switch it up, or?
Depends.
Mm-hmm.
It's a narrative game, so it's, wherever your imagination takes you.
Yeah. Well, when we came over and checked out your setup there, that was some impressive stuff. All of your miniatures that you've been making.
Thanks, man. Thanks.
Yeah, and that reminds me, we have to get on the video.
Oh, yeah, we'll make a stop motion.
Oh, but I also want to come over and get them while they're all on the shelves and everything.
You're going to have to come this week.
Yeah, you were saying that you're going to have a little move or something like that. So I will come this week.
Yeah. I mean, it'll probably be the last thing I take because they're hard to move.
But yeah, let's get them while they're all nice and displayed. All right, well, we were going to ask you how much Jules curses while he plays.
I mean, Jules curses every once in a while. I didn't realize that was a thing, that he didn't curse, but I've heard him curse several times. I wouldn't say that he's that he has a potty mouth or anything.
That's good.
Not too vulgar.
No, he's not very vulgar, but I've heard him curse.
Yeah.
So
I
he
don't really
doesn't
think much about it.
He doesn't listen to Pantera.
No, he doesn't.
I don't think so.
No,
He might.
they're dead now, anyway. Right?
Not all of them.
But I
Well,
guess
they got shot on stage, man.
That sucks.
Yeah.
the comment and the question spawned from, I guess, cursing and
Yeah, we were
being around my mom, and as a kid, cursing was like an absolute no-go.
fucking no-go.
And I had a lot of friends that spent most of their childhood free time at her house. And we're all kids, and we're all into cursing because it makes you feel like, yeah, haha, funny, or older, or whatever. And it would be like once we made it into her at her house, it was like, everybody watch your mouth. Because she's definitely not going to curse, and she's going to be upset if the kids are cursing.
It's going to bum her out.
So
Your friends bummed her out.
Now when we hang out, we can speak a little bit more freely, knowing that it's not inappropriate if that's our feelings,
Right.
which is good. I feel like both are good to be, told that you should watch what you say as a kid, but then as you get older, you should be able to say what's on your mind that makes you feel right.
And we're also going to ask you a few questions beyond the fam, unless there's any other thing you'd like to say about the fam before we move on.
Love
them all.
I love them all. I got the best mom and dad and my godfather and great aunts and uncles, and my brother's awesome, and I got nothing to complain about at all. I can only be grateful for all of them.
That's
all I have been taught from them.
Yeah. It's good practice right there. Be grateful for what you got. Be very grateful. So we were going to talk about concrete a little bit. And that is one of your main fortes.
Yes, it is.
We were talking about the company, Catterskill Concrete, yesterday a little bit on the preview show. Why do you like concrete so much?
It is it is a very intense period of time that once the chemical reaction has occurred,
the hydration,
it makes this window of time that you cannot alter. There are drugs that you can put into it to alter it and slow it down, but
and by drugs he's talking about additives that you would put into your mix.
As a retarder to give you more time. But the idea that when you start a process with the material, there is no other focus that you should be thinking about, because this one in front of you cannot go back on. So that's like these other things that I became obsessed with as a kid, like skating and snowboarding and biking. All of those moments that you're doing this action, if you're thinking about something else, that you have a lot of high consequences of getting injured. So you focus in, and nothing in the whole world matters. So this is a way of being able to be like, I'm working and I feel like I'm doing something that's, good to have a profession, but it also allows me to like zone in on something as if I'm doing it for fun, but yet I'm doing it as my profession. And I'm not a professional skateboarder or snowboarder, so I don't do those things all that much, but I work with concrete, and that is my profession, that I take the same energy and the same focus that I would be doing if I was doing one of these activities, and just flip it into that. I think that's why I really like it.
It gives you an outlet to express things you would like to ride. Kind of?
Yeah. I mean, building the skate stuff is there's so many wins about it, because not only are you zoned in at the moment to create this amazing piece that's going to get hard and be there for forever, but as all the pieces come together and the puzzle is created and it's done, now for the rest of time you can go there and be like stimulated from watching people interact with it.
Right. How many skate parks would you say you've worked on?
All together with like private DIY parks and being affiliated with just a couple days of concrete. Sometimes a project is 3 months, sometimes it's 1 day.
Right.
Depending on where we're at with the connection of the group, but probably around 70.
Wow.
Like 75.
That's a lot of parks.
It's a lot of parks. It's and a lot of
potato salad.
Yeah.
A lot of mud. There's so many more to come. It's amazing. Like right now as we're talking, they're happening all over the world, and only more and more and more. It's like all the companies that existed 10 years ago, most all of them still exist, and now there's twice as many of them.
Right.
This is a a good little segue into the carbon neutral concrete, or even, you could make it a skate park carbon negative, possibly, if you're using this new concrete which captures CO2 and traps it in the concrete.
Instead of off-gassing the CO2,
Mm-hmm.
which most all concrete has a high percentage rate. I think it's like 5% in our atmosphere. In our current atmosphere is based from concrete that has been placed already in the world.
See, I didn't realize that concrete gave off CO2 or was a byproduct of it.
Yeah.
It can be, yeah.
And it is.
And what you do is you can capture it from like a plant that produces anything that's producing CO2, and then they turn it into some form of liquid that you inject at the batch plant. So you're trapping more CO2 in the concrete than it will ever release. So it's like bringing its footprint down.
Right, right.
And I found a couple plants in Syracuse. Well, maybe not a couple. I think that there's one up there. And I saw a map of like the country that has plants that are doing this. So, and I was surprised there's some very close.
Yeah, and I guess the only reason that we even know about it is because our friends who have a family business, a big lumber mill called Roth Lumber, they recently have invested in getting all of the equipment to make biochar, which is something for them that's a really simple thing to have the material. Obviously, they have a huge mill, so they constantly have wood that then can be turned into biochar as long as it's processed properly. And now that they have this equipment to process it, it's not quite as easy as like starting a fire and then having all the coal that's at the end of the fire. You're like, okay, cool, this is great for my garden. It has to be heated to a certain point, and then it's like, oh shit! Now I'm.
You're opening up a can of worms now.
I know I am.
I think we just have Mike on to talk about it if we want to go there.
Yeah, that would be cool. But anyways, biochar, it's a really good thing for the world.
The environment.
It has a negative carbon imprint.
That's cool.
Yeah.
I never heard of that before.
Yeah.
A lot of people, that whole industry is going buck wild right now.
I'm sure it is. Negative carbon footprints?
Just trying to bring down, trying to trap carbon emissions like into construction and or using carbon to build things like nanocarbon, I think that's the strongest structure known to man is a graphene. And you can watch Ian from Tim Pool talk about that stuff all day and all night. Graphene, yeah. So after knowing like how much you like concrete and what you do with it, what would you like to do with it? Say you don't have you just want to do what you want to do with it, and you got a bunch of material.
Making a dream world
out of Conchi.
Yeah, like Barnes's world that he makes on miniature scale. I want to make it on like a large scale of all the materials and all the money to spend it, and just to be able to make these environments that are like crazy mountainscapes that we don't have mountains like that here, and we don't have.
You want to make a mountain out of concrete?
Yeah, but not a life-size mountain, but making sculptures, making big giant sculptures that are realistic in their color and their shapes and their feel, but also that they're interactive and that they become these like Disneyland Disneyland is that.
Right.
It's based around all these characters, but like when you go there, it is insane how much has been built to make you feel like you're somewhere else in the world.
You're not in reality. You're in an alternate reality.
So I guess That's it. Making a fucking 40-foot tall mermaid.
Wow.
That's just a huge concrete mermaid.
And you can climb all over her chest.
Easy. Maybe up her tail. And
oh boy.
what else? I feel like that's endless. That's why I think that way, is because there's no limit to that. You could make these huge walls of all these different rock shapes with a fountain coming down it, but at the bottom there's like this amazing little like altar piece that has all these little tiles, and you can do it on such a big scale that's really crude, but also you can take the material on such a small scale and tweak so hard, like our little barriers that we made, that it's like this little thing with a super small amount of material, and it's so like crisp and cool, and it's virtually the same exact thing as what all these buildings are made out of.
Yeah.
But there's no rocks in it. That's the only difference. We just have a paste instead of a concrete mixed with rocks.
Cementatious paste.
Yeah.
TZ's favorite word. Totally zoned.
Where is he?
Where is he?
Cemation?
Yeah. Like cement. Cementatious.
Cementatious. I got it.
You thinking the other semen?
I wasn't familiar with the word, so I didn't know what to think.
That's a pretty good alternative for cementatious paste.
It's using, like,
You got paste?
They make all it needs for it to be a cementatious paste, all it needs to do is pretty much have a Portland, which is the molecule that once water is added to it, that's when it's like, now I get to grow. So if you add sand or rocks in with that, now these crystals are growing from this little particulate
Little molecule.
that once the water's added to it, it's like, holy shit, now I get to like take water, do something with it. I'm going to grow out. And if there's a piece of sand here that's covered in it, that sand is going to grow out and grab this.
Gotcha.
So they all just like start growing together, and the more ingredients you add, the stronger it can be, because a rock is stronger than just the paste. You know, the paste on its own isn't all that strong, but when you mix them all together and make this perfect like dough, it's like
a fruit cake.
It could be super, yeah,
Similar to plaster.
Yeah. I mean, it's virtually the same exact thing.
Yeah. What is plaster's got to be a close approximation to.
Yeah, I that was a really good comment. I immediately was like, whoa, what is plaster?
Yeah.
But
next week, what is plaster?
It is. It's.
I'll look into that.
It is a cementatious.
It's got to be.
paste.
Yeah, it's a chemical reaction.
Yeah, there is.
It's got.
That's it.
I would bet it has like fly ash in it and stuff like that.
Whatever it is, you can't do it twice. So, like, if I make something out of plaster and I don't like it, and I grind it back down to a powder and try to add water in it, it doesn't work as well.
Yes, you are totally right. Totally right.
And I imagine that's similar.
You would have to process it again or something. Yeah.
It's like a chemical was taken out or used out of it.
Yeah.
And what services does your concrete company offer? Oh God.
This is the hardest question I ever am asked. Is what do I do, or what do you like to do? What do you mainly do?
Well, you like to shoot concrete, right?
I like to shoot concrete. I also like to make, like, my expression of what I would like to do is make my dream world, which is, in turn was, if we were all working on it, it would be our dream world, because we all had this idea of, whoa, imagine building that over there, and now we're working on it. So since I don't do work for myself to like promote myself, and I work with other people or homeowners or contractors or whatever, I usually try and get on a program of, what are you dreaming of? If it's a cut and dry thing that I need this filled in with concrete and it needs to be flat, I usually try and weasel my way out of not doing that, because that's a simple way to place this material that many people know how to do, and they love doing it. And I don't get stimulated from doing that. I would much rather have you not really know how you want this to be, but you know you want it to be concrete, and you know that you want to get from here to there, and right now it's all mucky, and it's a slimy path, and we want to make a path, but you want it to be, you know, different. That's what I like to do, and what I try and sell as is that if you need custom designed concrete installation, I'd love to try and work with you on it. That's kind of how I have been.
And those are your ideal jobs to go to?
As of right now, yeah. That's the easiest in terms of where I'm at with the business and being able to like bid on projects. I can't, not to say I can't bid on like municipal skate park projects, but that's a whole other like echelon of like what you how you have to be established. And not that I couldn't do that, but at this point I'm not trying to bid on municipal skate park projects.
Gotcha.
Doing private stuff for like homeowners or helping out communities do DIY stuff, I love doing that. And our friends that have concrete skate park companies, like our friends Fifth Pock out of Philadelphia, we love helping them do their thing because they are doing it. You know, they're really doing it, and they're bidding on stuff all over the country and being successful at it. And it's amazing to see our friends have made it to this point of like, this is what we do. I don't quite do that yet.
Right.
Yeah, and may never do it because, like you said, you want to. You like building parks, but you don't want to be just on that one mission.
Yeah. Exactly, yeah. I don't think I'll ever be like 11 months, 10 months out of the year again just building skate parks.
It's a lot of commitment to one thing.
Yeah, it is. And it's amazing. Like,
it's a cool life.
We know so many amazing people that do it, and they're like big inspirations to us. Like Hoagie, if he's still driving safely.
Yeah. We haven't drove him mad.
But it's a hard life to live on the road all the time.
Living in a house with 6-7 other guys, and you got a closet. If you're lucky, you got a bed. You know.
Oh, you got a bed.
Yeah, sometimes.
Sometimes.
Yeah. Skate park builders definitely they like the road.
I see you got a Benson Steel hat out on there.
Oh yeah. These guys are incredible.
The local steel company in our area.
Yeah, they've been providing service to the Hudson Valley for decades now, as far as I'm aware.
My dad is great friends with the whole family, and they started doing projects together that my dad would think of, and they found out like what one another is capable of, and then it was so cool to see like they would come across some giant piece of steel and be like, we don't need to scrap this is too cool to scrap, but who the hell is going to do anything with this? And then the idea, oh, John would like that, and then they like collaborate on making this like, you know, crazy tower out of a huge old sewer drain that's like 5 feet around, and it was just going to go into the scrapyard, but they did that. I don't know, that was kind of a random one. But there's this like 25-foot tall tower at my dad's old house that like I'm almost certain Ken had came across this thing and like didn't know what to do with it, and said John would probably know what to do with this thing, and together they like erected this crazy lookout tower and made like there's a whole glass roof on it and a glass floor on the top of this big cylinder. It's like really cool. But they like do steel work, and they do structural steel and work on bridges and stuff, but also always thinking in this other way of creative projects. And the skateboard, the biggest skateboard in the world up until 2008, when Rob Deerdeck made a bigger one,
was here.
Yeah, it was here in Saugerties, and those guys did it together. My dad had the idea, and he knew that Benson could do it, and they fabricated up the like most beautiful 31-foot long skateboard
31
that's
foot.
4 feet tall and 8 feet wide and like
Giant skateboard.
100. It's identical. It's 14 times the size of a little old board.
Skateboard of the gods.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Yeah, the model for that is just like an old sidewalk surfer.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. And we should have had video for that to show people, but maybe that'll be in the future. Maybe you and little Chris can come on and talk about that day or something.
The days.
And have some of that video.
Mm-hmm.
Have you ever seen that video?
I don't believe I have.
It's on YouTube, I believe. If
I've
people
seen it.
want to look
I remember
it up.
the skateboard was at Cantine Field for whatever reason.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we did this. We did the 4th of July parade, and we pushed it, we pushed it all the way with the parade. And the first year, we couldn't make the 90-degree turn onto I don't know if it's Jane Street or Pankey Street,
Okay.
but to the right, to go over to Partition.
Right.
Or the street up from Pankey's, whatever that.
Lafayette or something. Or
Lafayette?
I can't remember.
Anyways,
It doesn't matter.
there's a 90-degree turn.
It's so important.
And we couldn't take the turn with the board because like the trucks would turn.
And you guys didn't know that until you got there that day during the parade?
No, we tried and tried and tried, and we just ended up bailing. So it only made it like a quarter of the way through the parade.
It sucks.
And then the next year, they made these casters like what you'd put on your car to move it around in a shop. So you jack it up under each wheel. And we had like a whole pit crew where we jack up the skateboard, put these casters under, and then you could turn it on a dime and then drop it back down, push it, get to the next intersection, jack it up again, and do it again.
The pit crew.
Wow.
Yeah.
Did you guys try and do it super fast?
I think it was.
It was
We
just
were
a bunch.
excited to just do it.
I
mean, my dad he
wasn't timing you
no.
Gotta be faster than that.
But he moves fast, so we did it fast. I
Your
imagine.
dad? Yeah, he moves quite fast.
Yeah.
Oh, so fast.
So fast.
Yeah, we got to get that video so everyone can see it. But if they want to look it up now, they could just look it up on YouTube. There's somebody out there has it.
Yeah, Bart.
Bart
Documented all of the skate park committee stuff from my whole childhood. And
Bart.
Friedman. Yep.
Yeah, and he's got his own YouTube channel. We were supposed to ask him what his channel was so we could...
I'm pretty sure it's Bart Friedman.
All right. Well, we'll figure that one out. Well, how are we doing on time here?
We've got an hour in.
All right. Maybe...
Pretty good with the schedule here.
I think we're going to hit the Rat Wax commercial. All right?
Pretty good with the schedule.
It's only it's not even a minute long. So, yeah, we'll hit it and we'll just get back to whatever. If anybody wants to buy some wax so they can skate, go to marsrats.com. Or you just want to make an encaustic painting, get some rat wax. There's our friend. He's sitting on your lap.
Yeah, my buddy.
Who's that?
Hey, buddy.
That's science.
Science.
Wow.
That's our friend, pregnant science man.
Has that happened yet?
Ow.
What? They say, yeah, sure, it's happened. Yeah.
Have men incubated babies? Yes, I've heard they have.
Really?
I've heard that they have.
It depends on how far you want to stretch your imagination.
Really, it
Oh
does.
my God, I don't want to stretch it that far.
Good, because that way you won't get pregnant.
Oh. Yeah, Yeah, I just figured, I didn't get to put him in a position. He just happens to be sitting where you sit every time. Like, if I want to just bring him up, he just like pops up right there. I was gonna put him right next to me by Hala, but what are you gonna do? But we also have our other favorite guest here.
Justin.
He's badass. Look
Justin
at him.
Trudeau?
Yeah, that's Justin Trudeau. He's
My God.
And I don't know where the video is. I made a video.
He used to
with
put
him in it.
bananas down his pants as well, I've heard.
Yeah.
He put a banana down his pants when he go to the basketball games or whatever.
I
I don't know, man. That shit.
I didn't hear that one.
How old is he?
It's a good question.
Barney's gonna look up how old Justin Trudeau is. Yeah, I had a video that I put on.
I imagine he's a Gen Xer, right?
I imagine so. Definitely. I wonder. I'd have to do some work. That video.
He's
not gonna
2
be
months, almost 2 years older than me. So he's 50.
He's a bum.
Wow.
Canada, your prime minister's a bum.
What a mutt.
So you guys were in school at the same time together?
Yeah, I met Brandon and I was in 8th grade. He was in 7th grade.
Yeah. We used to do. What were those missions? Mission Impossible.
Mission Impossible.
With Chris.
Yeah.
That was funny.
I did a lot of very mischievous things in school.
Mischievous.
Did you get kicked out a good amount?
No. They wouldn't do that to me.
We lived during better times than kids nowadays.
True.
Now they'll get arrested or, detention or suspended for just like
expelled,
for being just like normal kids having fun, joking around. A little bit of, there's bullying, I guess, but the criteria for bullying is like come down to such a small threshold of like if you make a microaggression or something like
right,
that.
it's coming down. I mean, when we went to school, if you're a guy, you pretty much had to fight at some time. Like,
yeah, you had to fight.
It wasn't like you had to fight every day or anything like that, but you had to stick up for yourself.
It was like a rite of passage in American culture. How many times did you get into fights in high school?
I was friends with most everybody.
Well, see, that's a talent in itself.
Yeah.
Well, that's how I met most of my good friends. We beat the crap out of each other.
You beat them up, and then
you're like, oh.
Oh, you guys can hang.
Yeah.
No, I mean, as beating up as friends, that was a constant, But like the real like hate, like I'm gonna kill you until one of us is the bigger man. That happened two different times in my whole like high school career.
What about elementary school?
Never. I was just soft, I guess. That's what it's coming down to. I just wasn't an American man. I just.
Well, how did you become a trucker then?
Well, I mean, I don't know if you heard what we were talking about yesterday, but you could be any type of human and be a trucker.
Right, like skaters.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. You could be someone that doesn't. Those people. You could be any walk of life and be a trucker. You just have to go and take a test. That's it.
Saranac. I want to get to that before we forget about it. You went to Lake Saranac.
Yeah, a group of our friends went to Lake Saranac for a winter carnival that they do annually. This year was an 80s themed event, and what a great community event. It was really, really cool. A lot of happy people out in the cold enjoying, I guess, the no masks thing. I don't really know how they've been up there, but nobody was wearing masks and everybody was super happy. And it was
like the
great.
Super Bowl, say.
So the Super Bowl, yeah. It was great. Beautiful.
Maskless thing.
Yeah, seeing humans without a mask on is a beautiful thing.
And they were they were all very nice people. I imagine the whole town was just there.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know where everybody was from. There was a lot of locals that were there, but it also seems like something that a lot of outsiders come to because it's an influx of music and ice sculpture.
Well, that's cool.
And
So would you say it's similar to like the Garlic Festival?
yeah, totally similar to the Garlic Festival. It's like we have the place to do this, so we're gonna do it, and then try and get people to come and keep just.
Right.
Bring your friends. Bring your friends.
Build it every year.
Yeah.
Right.
A lot of good music. We did a lot of dancing to a lot of horned instrument based bands.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Well, I have. Let's see if I can do it. Some pictures.
Oh, look at that.
What's that? An
The
ice castle?
ladies.
Oh, you got to stand. Well, I'm sorry, I'm blocking you right out.
That's okay.
What is that? A ice castle?
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
What's that? You're sitting in the middle of the gargoyles
The gargoyles from Ghostbusters. Yeah, when they get taken over, when they get taken over, their bodies get taken over by the gremlin things or monsters.
Here's another. I didn't know. Did you want to put these on?
They're on now. That's the
Beggars.
group.
I didn't know if you guys
Yeah.
you handed me a bunch of
Yeah, this is the
pictures.
crew.
You like the backgrounds?
Yeah.
That's the poster.
That's cool. Whatever that is.
Stairway.
Yeah, the stairway to the second floor of the ice castle.
Ah,
It was
Barnes, you missed the ice castle.
I guess so.
pretty real deal. Impressive.
There's
And the
the
Normandy design.
Uh-huh.
that's Doonesbury, right?
That is Doonesbury.
Mm-hmm. It's such a great picture. Maddie took that. I could see him in the reflection of the camera.
That's because we look like brothers, and I took that picture.
You took the picture.
Mm-hmm.
He just looked like yeah. I guess I
You look like a
a scruffy. You guys are scruffy looking.
Yeah.
scrumpy.
There's a DeLorean,
Ooh.
ice DeLorean.
Ice DeLorean. Frost DeLorean. Wow.
There's a castle, King of the Castle wall.
Looking at
A big thriller. That was a big thriller carving.
Oh, that says Thriller there. I see it.
Michael Jackson? Thriller?
Yeah.
Oh, 80s, right.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
This
There was
is
a E.T.
Thriller.
Did any of the videos get in?
I got the videos, but they got. I mean, I could play them, but I'd have to mute them. I think because there's copyright infringement. You know, or we have to talk really loud over top.
I could sing over top.
You gonna sing Thriller? What is this here?
That's just the side profile of the wall. Supposedly, they cut a good amount of the ice blocks out from the lake that's pretty much 30, 40 feet away from the castle.
Gotcha.
Mm-hmm.
But they also truck in a bunch. Obviously, the DeLorean, like, that was what it looked like to me was just a giant block of ice.
Oh.
That
Maybe they formed up and.
maybe, but no. They didn't form that up. They carved that with chainsaws.
Well, no, I mean you form up a big square.
Yeah.
And then just pour water in. Now you have a big block. You didn't have to
Exactly.
truck ice it.
Yeah. And we haven't made enough ice sculptures really because we could be really doing it. It's been fucking cold and that is some seriously fun shit.
Yeah.
I tried actually this year.
You did?
Yeah, we got some bins
Yeah.
and then filled them with water and put dye in them. But
yeah.
I just started like 2 weeks ago and I only got four blocks so far because it's been so warm.
How thick were they?
They're about 2 feet by 10 inches or so.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, normal storage bins, plastic storage bins.
Yeah.
You're trying to make. Oh yeah, you were telling me about that.
I
You're
was
trying
gonna make a castle or something, but it hasn't been cold enough.
Yeah.
Wow.
If I would have started in December, I could have got it done.
King of the Castle. You're trying to make
Trying to be king of the castle, yeah.
Yeah, we should be trying to do some sculpture. One of the coolest ice sculptures I ever seen was it was like it got to be 8 feet, maybe. Big can of spray paint. It was like mixed between graffiti and ice sculpture. I was like, that's really cool. Somebody was on point.
Did they carve the
Yeah,
cylinder?
yeah. Mm-hmm. I mean, maybe they poured it. I don't know. But it was really cool looking. Huge can of paint.
Sounds like a cool one.
I've seen some pretty amazing pictures of ice sculptures from like Russia, Karalee or whatever. I know that they have a big winter fest there every year.
Yeah, I wanted to go to the Saranac one for many years now. They said they were going last week, and it just happened to be falling the same damn day we started the podcast.
All right.
So it was a no-go again.
First I ever heard of the Saranac Ice Festival.
Yeah,
Winter
Saranac
Carnival.
Lake Winter Carnival.
Thanks to our friend Kiana for having us at her house. She housed like 6 or 7 of us in her apartment. It was really amazing.
That's quite a bit amount of people. What are you gonna say?
I know there's a bacon fest in New York somewhere. Right?
Ooh.
Just gonna look that up where that is.
Wings. I still haven't went to a wing festival, and Buffalo's like right there.
Yeah, we should.
What's going on, man?
I don't know.
What's our problem?
Where there was a wing fest in Saugerties at Canton, like I know a handful of years ago.
A wing off, right?
A wing off. That's it. Yep.
That was just local eateries making wings, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
Wing it. I did. Here's the video. I didn't hear the audio playing, so maybe that's good. Let's see if we can watch it really quick. The videos. How did I get to them? Here's this, that one we didn't talk about. That you said was like 30 feet high.
That was we could count it out. Those blocks are 2 feet.
Whoa.
10, 12,
To me, it looks like a straight out of Mario video game.
Boing, boing, boing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a
maybe
flag at
30,
the end of that.
36. Yeah, it does. It's 30 plus.
30
tall.
feet, huh?
You gotta jump off that and grab the flag.
Is that the same wall in the back?
Uh-huh.
Okay. The translucence must have been amazing looking while you're up there in IRL, in real life.
I wouldn't got that one if you didn't say it.
The IRL. Yeah, that's a new talk from the future.
Future talk.
All right, what's going on here? There's the videos.
There it is.
All right.
See, now, I don't know if people are hearing this. I think they are. I got to mute it.
I don't hear nothing.
Oh, wait, I don't see anything on the...
I could test to see if they are.
Well, it's already too late. We'll probably get copyright infringement, but whatever. I'll edit it
There's
later.
a lot of lag, so I can't tell.
This was the end of the parade, and this group of women were incredible. They had practiced a lot for this routine, and they had like 4 or 5 songs choreographed, where they'd be clicking their chairs to the beat, and
Yeah, I was hearing them click to the beat. That was really cool.
they're the beach chair club. I imagine that they hang out together in the summertime and hang out in the sand.
This is at Saranac, you said?
Uh-huh.
And this was in some local bar or something?
Yeah, midday, partying.
People just raging. Oh, that's the one thing I forgot to do. I was going to make all the videos the same size.
Yeah, Maddie. Yeah, Kiana. Yeah, Justin.
This one's a huge video. That's why it's probably lagging out.
And so this is in
There's
February?
ET.
Oh, yeah. This is in February every year?
I
No.
believe so, yeah.
That says 80s. It's lagging out big time. I got to get out of here.
Get out of here.
Get out of here.
All right. There we go.
All right.
Let's just turn that off.
Yeah, Kiana.
The music wasn't on.
That's good.
They didn't get any
There's
sound.
your boy.
Yeah.
My boy Troy. My boy Blue.
So
Oh, it's got a little
that's
name.
that was a amazing party you guys went to.
Yeah, we don't do that kind of stuff enough.
We've had our fair share. I'm sure you've had plenty as well. It's but it should be more regularly occurring thing. What's next on the travel plans? You got nothing?
World of Concrete 2023.
Oh, we gotta go.
Yeah, we missed
We
this
got
year.
to go.
Where's that?
It's in Las Vegas. We were supposed to go
That
this
makes
year,
sense.
and we didn't again. Well, last year we couldn't go because of COVID, but this year we flaked. We flaked on it.
Yeah, we flaked out.
That's my next trip.
Yeah, like I said,
away from now.
I'm starting to plan that right now too. I got to start planning that. I love learning out there. That's like you get to take courses and stuff on concrete.
Oh, in Vegas?
Yeah. It's also like a school as well as just a big, convention for buying and selling.
Yeah, it's awesome.
It's amazing.
What about you, Barnes? What about you? Any trips, vacations?
No, I'm just in the middle of a moving down the street.
Yeah, he's taking a trip down the street.
Taking a trip down the street.
Where was the last place you went and visited?
Last place I went and visited? Well, I guess Philly, because I had to move my mom.
Mm-hmm.
Brotherly love.
Yeah, Philadelphia. It's
Philadelphia.
It was filthy. There's such a drastic contrast between Pittsburgh and Philadelphia in my experience as far as cleanliness goes.
What's the street we went down when we were with Jesse and Sloan and the guy's saying, "Give me a quarter, Poppy. Give me a quarter." That's like, do you know the name of that street?
I do. Gerard.
That street's not good. They
Not
call that
good.
NFG.
Where did your mom move to?
She moved to Baltimore Avenue in West Philadelphia.
Mm-hmm. Don't know where that is, but
It's near the college there, University of Pennsylvania. And I think it's Pennsylvania University of Sciences, something like that. It's another one nearby. It's she lives in a decent neighborhood, it looks like. It's not that dirty. It was fairly mixed. Saw a lot of Asian students there. So I guess she's okay. Seemed like a decent neighborhood. I did notice that there was bars on the windows, but it's a big city. It's the fourth
Yeah,
biggest-
most of the city has bars on
Right.
it.
It's the fourth biggest city in the U.S., I think. I'm pretty sure it's New York, L.A., Chicago, Philadelphia.
I went to the parade there on January 1st, the Mummers Parade.
In Philadelphia?
Yeah, that is a party.
Mummers, huh?
You want to talk about a party? Oh my God. I felt like I was in a 1980s movie that, they were just at an 80s thing where everybody was partying. But this wasn't 80s themed. It just was straight out of like Ghostbusters, the movie at the end where everybody's just like, yeah. Hey, woohoo.
The 80s is
Everybody's
great.
awesome.
Yeah. Partially because we were young and we didn't have a care. The only real care was like getting vaporized, like any spontaneous second.
You crawl under the desk.
That was
We
it.
could get nuked.
We could get nuked any second. That was it.
I wonder when they stopped making kids crawl under the desk. Was that right when we were growing
I
up?
think it's when we left. I know they started to bring them out into like the field next to the school after we left.
Okay. Behavior modification.
Yes, that's what it is.
bomb scares.
Nukes.
Nuclear threat.
Yeah,
We were still in the Cold War.
Yeah, we lived through the Cold War. It was good for the economy. It was, because these companies couldn't just go move to China. You couldn't move to like somewhere else because either you had to build an infrastructure, like say you went to South America, which you could have found cheaper labor in South America, and you couldn't go into behind the Soviet bloc because they don't allow private enterprise, so they would just take your stuff. You had to go somewhere in the Western world where business was safe to conduct, and you had to pay higher taxes because of that.
Yeah. Yep.
Where are you going to go? Iraq? That's not going to work out too well in the 90s. Yeah. But once globalization came up, corporations could go anywhere, not worry about
Safety
as much, right? And they can exploit labor markets all over the world, which is what's happening in China, because they've got the largest population. So,
And everybody wants a piece of their fledgling market of consumers.
yeah, what China does though is it keeps its currency low, so its people don't have that much buying power, so they'll work for less because they don't have that much buying power. Say if the I'm not sure what the Chinese currency is called, but say it was worth $1,000 per whatever theirs is, they would just come here and live here like kings. Kind of like when we go to like Central America and our money goes a little bit further, and they're like, "Wow, we're rich."
Yeah, everybody goes on vacation where it's really they're bang for the buck.
Right.
Yeah, inflation. It's not doing so good.
It's coming. That could be what part of this Ukraine thing is. That's another thing. They keep calling Ukraine a democracy. Ukraine's not a democracy. I don't know what the hell that's about. But anyway, if they could pull Ukraine into the Western economic system, put all those people in debt, might balance our inflation a little bit. Because the debt system can only keep going if more people get in debt.
Debt. It's a great way to have an imaginary job. Lend somebody some money, charge them to just
Usury.
keep paying you back.
Yeah, usury it's called. It's illegal in the Bible.
Well, I had a whole thing like ready to go, like this clip I had made that was really funny, but I got so sidetracked I forgot to load it up.
It's all good.
So,
since we're on China, I got something. So, China Uncensored, which is a media outlet out of New York. They're on different platforms. You can find them here on YouTube. On Tuesday, they did a report about a Chinese father of 8 who had become famous in China for fathering 8 children and taking care of 8 kids in poverty. He had gone viral over there on their social media and, become a celebrity. And he was doing commercials for bridal companies, of the ideal.
So you're saying he was a folk hero or something?
Yeah. He's just the guy in China. China recently, lifted its 2-kid policy, and this guy has 8 kids.
Oh, so they're like, this guy's doing it,
and he's taking care of 8 kids.
He's taking care of business,
right? And then they found out this week that he's had his wife chained up out in the shed. Underneath a lock. Yeah, and she's out in the cold, improperly dressed.
Really?
Yeah.
What'd she do?
What do you mean what she do? I don't know.
I don't know, man. That's it seems like they'll probably have some justification for she did something.
Sure.
She did something, so that's perfect. That's acceptable.
They don't have the same human rights that we have here.
You don't say.
Yeah, I don't say. Another one I picked up this week was this guy, Ali London, who is a Caucasian Anglo man, I believe. And he's been having surgeries to change himself to a Korean pop star. He says he's continuing where Michael Jackson left off. And he's having a race change, I guess you could say. And
race change.
Yeah. And he's gone as far as to have a penis reduction so that his penis matches more of a Korean average size, I guess.
You know what I call that? Stunning.
Stunning and brave?
Stunning and brave.
Yeah.
That's stunted and brave.
I wonder how much it's costing him to do these changes.
I don't know. I mean, let's look him up. Let's see what we can find.
What do you need?
I'm looking for my lemon drop.
Your lemon drop bag. Where'd you put them?
I can't see. All right, so he is British.
No need.
Look, you got a camera right there, or a monitor saying they're not there.
Smart guy.
Finishing where Michael Jackson.
You want some coffee instead?
Whoever this guy is, he's pretty out there. I guess Bill Maher must have did a piece on him.
Good.
He's oh, you like that without the milk and sugar, eh?
What does he look like?
I like an Asian pop star.
I should have gotten a picture for that.
It was
That's him.
Oh, jeez.
He's had a lot of
Jasper
surgery.
saying, "Oh, geez."
A lot of surgery to make himself appear Korean,
geez.
I guess. Just so strange to me.
I mean, but wait, he wants to look like a woman though.
I'm not sure about that part, but maybe. Either way, Korean is the thing he's going for.
I mean, it looks like a Korean woman now.
Stunning.
Well, I guess many
Brave.
like Korean K-pop stars are very feminine looking, so stunning, brave.
He's definitely going for it.
It looks a little bit like that comedian Wig. What's her name there? Something Wig.
The woman?
Yeah, I think she's on SNL or whatever. Kristen Wiig.
Kristen Wiig.
A little bit.
She was in MacGruber.
Yeah, maybe.
Great movie.
MacGruber.
Anybody that's out there wants to see a really, really good movie, you have to see MacGruber, which is based off of MacGyver from the early 90s.
I think MacGyver is 80s.
80s, late 80s.
Yeah.
Yeah, you haven't seen MacGruber.
I don't think so. I know.
Will
of it.
Forte.
I know of it. I may have seen it.
Oh, Will Forte is one of the funniest.
MacGyver was great though. Yeah.
Yeah, and he was like huge.
Yeah.
Get some gum and a wrapper and
Gum and a wrapper.
save the earth.
Save the earth.
You never seen MacGyver, did you?
No, I'm well aware of his amazing traits, though.
Yeah, he was like a field scientist who would do all this stuff.
He just would grab. He did his own research. I'm pretty sure.
All of it. He did all his own research.
He wasn't scared to research the many uses of a gum wrapper
No.
and some tin foil. What else would he? He's like the A-team.
What about MacGruber?
Oh, you're talking about Murdoch.
Murdoch was the one in the A-team.
Yeah, he was similar to MacGyver. Murdoch
Would always like make the crazy. Well, they made crazy stuff all together, but
yeah, but Murdoch was like that crazy tech guy, I believe.
What about MacGruber?
Yeah.
You're just gonna have to watch it. I gotta show it to you now.
Okay.
You have to be learnt.
Yeah, B.A. Baracus was like the muscle, and Templeton Peck was the face man, right? And Murdoch was the smart guy. John Hannibal Smith, that was the like point man or the leader. Right?
What'd you think about the A-Team remake movie?
It wasn't too bad, I guess.
They did a decent job.
Yeah.
Rampage Jackson as B.A. Baracus.
Yeah,
that was
cool.
pretty good.
Yeah, they did. I mean, he didn't try to relive Mr. T or anything.
What's the matter, Jasper?
I don't know anything about it.
About 18? We want to talk about G.I. Joe? New G.I. Joe
What
role-playing game
were
coming out.
you, Pokemon, right? Mon. You were into the Pokemon.
I was not into them, but they were around.
You caught them all, though.
I caught a few.
Caught a few.
I caught a few. I had a couple cards, but it was short-lived. I was more into Magic, just because Jules was into Magic, but I didn't.
Magic the Gathering.
Yeah, Magic the Gathering.
What'd you think about that game, Barnes? Because that was after your generation of gaming.
Magic the Gathering?
Yeah, what do you think about it?
I mean, that came out while we were in school, but I was already so far involved with role-playing games that I didn't.
You're like, this is for kids.
Yes, it's crap.
Yeah.
That's what I thought.
I thought it was crap, but I just wanted to, I guess, do something that Jules was
Pure
doing.
crap.
Well, you were still like, probably 5 when you were introduced to it. He's talking like he was 18 or 19 or something.
Yeah, I was still in
Younger-
high school when
yeah.
it came out, but
Yeah.
I remember thinking this is crap.
Well, Pokemon was definitely crap.
Pure crap.
Pogs.
I had Pogs.
I don't even understand what those are still.
I don't either. I just know the name.
I don't know how they made money, but they did. I had a Pog maker. That was the coolest thing. I made them with like skate magazines. I make Pogs with skaters on them.
That's cool.
It's just like these little, you get the blank disc, and then just you tear off the adhesive on it, and then you put your image in there, and then when you pushed it down, it cut out the perfect circle around your Pog.
That's cool. Did you bring them to school?
I don't even know what the hell you did with them. You had a slammer to like slam it on the table to knock them over or something. I don't know. Pogs.
Yeah, I don't know what they were or where they came from or where they went.
Any Pog fans out there?
I don't think so.
Comment in the section below.
Any other news, Barnes, that we didn't get to? Oh yeah. There's the Epstein.
Oh yeah, the guy in France, the fashion guy.
Jean-Luc Brunel.
So that was today he hung himself?
This morning, yeah.
Now, he was in prison, though, right?
Just like Epstein. In prison, hung himself.
Hung himself in prison.
Yeah.
High-profile prisoner. I don't know how many other high-profile prisoner France has, but... I mean, I'm sure they ain't got another man in the Iron Mask laying around or anything, so...
He was a French model agency guy, I guess.
He would procure girls for Epstein, right?
Supposedly, yeah, French modeling agent. And he hanged himself in his cell this Saturday morning.
Today.
Today. What's today? The 19th of February?
February 19th, 2022, Saturday.
He'd been in custody since being placed under formal investigation in 2020, accused of sexual harassment and the rape of minors aged between 15 and 18 in France.
Wow.
Yeah. He started a few modeling agencies in his day. And yeah, I guess Virginia Giuffre's one of the main complainants. Oh, no, not against him, in Epstein's. Sorry about that.
Yeah, she's in the case in general.
But this is what I want to know. How come we can't get coverage of this story like we can get Neil Young and Joe Rogan coverage?
Because the coverage is covered by media that's owned by corporate.
You think people would care more about women being sex trafficked?
They buried that story. I mean, you know. Today I saw a thing about Victoria's Secrets, right? They're not going to have the angels anymore. They're killing off the angels.
Great.
So they're going to have a variety of models or whatever. And I think it's weird that they did that, you know. After,
so empowering.
After Epstein was killed or whatever, you know.
So they're killing the angels. That's a nice. That's not exactly how they're putting it, though.
No,
right?
they didn't say they're going to discontinue the angel models or whatever.
No more.
I guess they're going to have a wider variety of women.
Whatever that definition is now.
I don't know what that definition is.
Devil models?
Probably. I wouldn't doubt it. They'll
they
go
had
there.
those, right? But
sinners.
Heathens. Blasphemers. Heretics.
The heretics. The heretics. So, the definition of woman, yeah, that's changing. That's changing, like the definition of man, like our little buddy here, if he can make an appearance. Men can have babies. That's kind of like takes away from a woman's identity, wouldn't you say?
Oh, I definitely say that. I would say that.
What do you think, Jasper?
Reproducing and creating humans is a woman's.
It seems like
primary identifying feature.
They're the original 3D printer.
Reminds me of that Life of Brian skit. You know?
What, Jasper?
I don't think 3D printing is necessarily the best way to describe that, but I don't know. That's something from our perspective we'll never ever be able to. Obviously, we can't do it. Maybe there's some guy out there who's like had it been somewhat successful because he had all this crazy surgery done to him, but all the things that go on in their bodies that we can only view as the outsider when they're your partners or your friends or whatever, and you're like, this is insane. You've gone insane. Everything was fine.
What are we saying? Men can't have babies?
Men can't. I don't think men can have babies. They
what
can't.
A fucking bigot, ladies and gentlemen. Jesus.
And the women women that can't. I mean, for maybe some women can't have babies, and sorry for their unfortunate thing if that's what they do want. But
right, there's some women that can't.
But that's like the craziest thing that happens in the world. It's like this thing grow like we can recreate ourselves. Well, we can't.
It's like the movie Aliens.
Yeah, we can.
Well,
we recreate. It's crazy.
Not quite like the movie Aliens, but
not quite.
And not like a 3D printer.
It's just a great joke.
It just takes 9 months. That's all. To reprint. That's all.
You gotta make sure the bed's nice and hot. I feel like there's a lot of things that people are doing nowadays in the, they call it woke politics. They're doing it and they feel like it's stunning, brave, empowering, all these great catchwords.
Right.
But it's actually, you really are like marginalizing people's identities
sure.
and their what they are as a human.
Sure. I've known a lot of women that were amazing athletes, had the dedication, worked hard, did it all. And, now that some of them are having to compete against, well, not ones that I knew, but today they're competing against people who were previously biologically male,
and they're getting smashed.
Yeah, for the most part. I think it's every women's track and field record in high school in Connecticut is owned by a trans female.
Wow.
Or has a trans female has the record.
Well, yeah, I mean,
Legend. That's
a legend. That's a legend. That's
She'll go on forever. Until
if all else fails, I'll become a female boxing champion.
Right. Yeah.
Maybe there's some gnarly women.
I'm sure there is. I'm just
saying. But yeah, the taking away of a woman. There's some people like Adele. She was just on some show, and she says she loves being a woman, and she got booed down.
Oh my God, what a bigot!
What a bigot!
What a bigot, ladies and gentlemen. She loves being a woman. My God.
Yeah, she loves being a woman. That's just bigot speak.
Bigot speak.
You must like Hitler.
Yeah, she probably likes Hitler. I think she's entitled to say that, and I'm glad that she likes being a woman.
Yeah, well, I think
seems like she's doing an okay job as being a
Mm-hmm.
woman.
She seems one of the best voices in the business, if not the best.
I guess.
I haven't heard many better.
I only know that one song, "Hello," whatever, whatever it is. Hello.
I kind of vaguely, yeah.
I don't know. It's not Lionel Richie though.
Lionel.
He's the man.
Dancing on the ceiling.
Oh yeah, Commodores. Come on.
The Commodores.
Yeah. He wrote a bunch of different hits for people. He gave Kenny Rogers a hit. Yeah, he wrote a song for Kenny Rogers.
A hit of what? Weed?
No, he wrote Lady. That's Kenny Rogers' song, Lady.
Okay.
Yeah, it was written by Lionel
Mr. Richie.
Oh yeah.
Nice.
I guess he wasn't the best father, but he's funky.
That's right. He had a daughter that had a TV show, with Paris Hilton. That was the beginning of the reality television days.
You remember what was that MTV show there in the 90s?
Oh God. One that started a lot of it.
Yeah, we take 6 strangers and put them in a house just to see what happened, whatever that was.
What was that called? Not Road Rules. It was before that.
I can't remember. I had the Eric Nice dude.
Mm-hmm. So what about the show?
What show?
I don't know.
The show?
Road Rules.
I never watched Road Rules.
It sucked.
Did it?
That road sucks.
I think Theo Vaughn was on Road Rules.
I'm not sure who that is.
He's a comedian. He's pretty funny.
Television references after like 93, I'm not going to get. I haven't had cable. Now everything's in one, but I don't watch it, but I haven't had cable. I haven't bought anything because I had cable in it since 93.
Yeah. Yeah, I haven't had cable in quite a long time myself. It's a very
out of the loop.
They are actively dumbing you down with that stuff.
Oh yeah.
Actively. I'm not saying it's just
you'll rot your brain out.
It's part of the plan.
Absolutely. You're sitting at home.
So anyways, in my video report, I do want to talk about this because I'm not going to show the video. Maybe next week we'll show it But if anybody wants to see the video I was talking about, you can go to marsrats.com and look up informed consent. But in the video, there's a woman comedian, and she passes out after making some big joke about being vaxxed and never catching COVID, and Jesus loves her, and then she goes clunk, and then she passes out.
There was quite a few of those.
Yeah. And then she went on to the Dr. Drew show, and she was talking to Dr. Drew about, have you heard anything like this happening? And he's like, oh, yeah. 2 to 3 weeks is when we're seeing this funny stuff happen.
It was happening to soccer players over in the UK. Am I coming in and out?
I'm not sure. It seems like everybody was hearing you fine. I think it's something to do with our headphones set up, which I'll have to work out later. But yeah, the soccer players are dropping down.
Yeah. I don't know what that's from, man. It's strange.
Give the mic a little blast.
Hello.
There you go. Now we'll probably hear you.
Yeah, I think it's strange. I don't know what to make of it. I would like to hear more about it. I know that she's not the only one. I know there were several others this week. There was a woman on German television on the news who
I saw that one.
She
Yeah.
was ranting about vaccines, and then she passed out in the middle of the interview.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's strange. Like the what's the Havana effect? Have you heard about that?
No.
So I guess Havana syndrome or something. As far as I know, it's an intelligence weapon, spy weapon, an espionage weapon. I guess it was first reported with some of our diplomats that were in Havana, Cuba.
Oh, is that the? Okay, yeah, I've heard about it. Made them sick.
Yeah, now the government's admitting it's a real thing, but they don't know what it is.
Yeah, they're admitting it's real, probably because somebody finally nailed them using it.
Havana syndrome.
I did want to read this. This is actually, maybe I won't read it until a little bit.
Let me give the definition of Havana syndrome. Havana syndrome is a set of medical symptoms with an unknown causes experienced mostly abroad by U.S. government officials and military personnel. The symptoms range in severity from pain and ringing in the ears to cognitive difficulties, and were first reported in 2016 by U.S. and Canadian embassy staff in Havana, Cuba. Beginning in 2017, more people, including U.S. intelligence and military personnel and their families, reporting having these symptoms in other places such as China, Europe, and D.C. That's according to Wikipedia, which I don't really trust, but.
Well, I've definitely heard of it, and I know there's been a lot of politicians that have spoke up against this mysterious weapon.
Yeah, whatever it is.
Mm-hmm.
Could be some kind of
It's just a completely disorientating, vomiting feelings. But back to the woman falling over and the people passing out after taking boosters and whatnot. When she was talking to Dr. Drew goes, well, I was looking at one of your, EKGs or something like that, and I wanted to see if you had any signs of myocarditis. And she goes, and that is, and I was just like, you went through all these procedures and you still have no clue that myocarditis is part of the issues that everyone's raising concerns about, where there are so many concerns that they had to finally have the FDA put an official statement out, or they had to officially say that it's a possibility you could get myocarditis from taking this booster or this shot, where people have no freaking clue that what it even is, and they're out there bragging that they've gotten all the shots and they're so tough and they got the booster, and now people are having side effects.
right.
And you got Dr. Drew just calling it funny stuff is happening.
Funny stuff?
Yeah, just funny. It's funny stuff happening.
It is funny. It's odd, that's for sure.
I find it concerning that people don't, take it serious. And
Look into it.
she didn't even know what myocarditis is. Myocarditis. And You've heard it though, right? Yeah, it's a health inflammation, or I mean heart inflammation, and it can cause arrhythmia, blood clots, all kinds of stuff. Not good. Yeah, it will kill you in some cases. Mm-hmm. But yeah, and males 18 to 24 are the most susceptible, and they're saying it should be no surprise if you get heart damage from one of the vaxes or boosters.
The cure shouldn't be, or the cure or treatment shouldn't be worse than the symptoms.
Well, that's there was no informed consent. That's what I'm saying. They didn't. They were giving you the paperwork, and it was just a big folded out white piece of paper. Did you see the reports on that?
No, I didn't see the reports on that.
Yeah, we could look it up. I should have all this stuff ready. It was in the most of it was in the little clip I had made up. But the point of the whole thing was you're like in Canada, they don't have a choice. They're being mandated.
Yeah.
There's no informed consent. There's penalties for not doing it. And it's basically just where Veritas released a clip of this FDA official saying that Big Pharma gives them billions of dollars a year, and for them, it's just a revenue stream.
Oh, yeah.
That's it. They're trying to get it so it's mandated because it's a revenue stream.
Right. Well, that would be so you're saying that the government is trying to form a symbiotic relationship with Moderna and Pfizer?
Yes.
That's fashion.
I'm pretty sure. That's what?
That's the fourth tenet of fashion.
Yeah. The fourth tenet.
At least according to Giovanni Gentile, who might know something about fascism since he came up with it.
It's Giovanni Gentile.
Yeah, he was born in the 19th century Italy, when Italy was first a nation. And he looked around Italy, or the Italian peninsula, and he saw that all the different regions had a strong territorial identity or provincial identity, and so he looked for ways to unite Italy, and he came up with fascism. There's nothing in there about race. It's just all provincial to national.
Mm.
Well, think about Italy, like all the regions do have a strong identity, like Tuscany, or Milanese, or Sicilian, which isn't actually Italian, but whatever. Nepalese, Roman, what do they call it? Napolitan? It's Napolitan?
Napolitan?
Yeah, like the ice cream.
Yeah.
From Naples, Naples, Italy.
You know what else is from there?
What's that?
Jasper?
Pozzolans.
Pozzolans.
What's Pozzolans?
It's the original Portland, the original ash that was found to make cementatious paste.
Oh, okay. All right.
And what was the name of the town or the mountain it came from? It was something with a P, right? Pazulia?
Yeah, something like that.
Pazulia.
I forget. But yeah, that's where
Pozzolans.
pozzolans are things you put into concrete, and it all comes from that name.
Gotcha.
In Italy.
That's funny.
Huh.
It's a small world.
After all, when you're out there and you're driving and you're looking out the window, like, and you're just looking at the earth looks really big. But when I find, like, I get there to wherever I'm going, and I find some people, and they remind me of back home or somebody I know, and the world shrinks again as soon as I start to talk to people. But if I'm just looking out the window, it looks huge.
Wherever you go,
yeah,
there you are.
Yeah, exactly.
I did want to ask Jasper something. I got sidetracked. Was it about Concreto? Was it about traveling? Let's see.
I don't know.
Oh, I did want to read this, though, because this is where I think we are as far as propaganda. where I'm trying to bring some propaganda news once a week. But another term related to propaganda is psychological warfare, sometimes abbreviated as psych war, which is the pre-war of wartime use of propaganda directed primarily at confusing or demoralizing enemy populations or troops, putting them off guard in the face of coming attacks, or inducing them to surrender. The related concept of political warfare encompasses the use of propaganda among many other techniques during peacetime to intensify social and political divisions and to sow confusion within the societies of adversary states. That last sentence, I'm not
That makes
reading.
sense.
All right. Well, the main thing when I was doing this a little bit of research, I was like, that's definitely the subversion technique that we're in now, is the demoralization. You're not allowed to be an American like we were talking before and be a proud American.
I mean, the country's been demoralized for decades. I mean, when's the last time you heard people talking about stuff in this country working? You know, the roads are all broke. The education system's been going to shit for decades.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I would say that we're pretty well demoralized as a society.
It's getting worse.
I mean,
or is it getting better? I don't know. But I think the key is to bring the morale back up. That's the real thing.
Well, yeah, you got to bring the morale
You can't
back
be
up. And
you can't be like saying, "Well, you're this and I'm that," and we got to work together. And it's easier said than done. Yeah,
sure, it is easier said than done.
But
I mean, it's not something you can do alone. You have to have other people with you to do that. It's like Yuri Bezmenov said that the Soviets were surprised we didn't fold already because we had endured so much psychological propaganda, or psychological warfare in the United States. And like as a kid, you think of like psychological warfare as like what they did to what's his face there from Venezuela, where they blasted Metallica at his palace or whatever nonstop for like days. They surrounded his palace and blasted Metallica at it or whatever. Or thrash metal to drive him crazy. And you think of things like that and Chinese water torture, right? And stuff. But really it's just these ideas put into your society. China's going through their own thing where they're cracking down on our psychological warfare over there, where they've just banned feminine men from celebrities being celebrities. They're cracking
where?
Down. In China, they were cracking down on, they're in a second social revolution. They say.
Okay.
And one of the things that they were cracking down on is effeminate men and celebrities.
Okay.
Because they feel that they're Western or whatever.
Right.
Feminine men?
Yeah, feminine men.
Effeminate, he was saying.
Yeah. Feminine?
Effeminate.
Yeah, girly men. Men who are more feminine.
Yeah.
Or have a feminine trait, I guess.
The point in that being where you watch, I forget where I saw it, but there was 3 different military commercials. This is a Russian military, Chinese military, and the American military. And they were showing their commercials, their latest commercials. The friggin' American one is a goddamn cartoon about a woman being empowered by being a military person and her transgender parents and all this other stuff.
Oh, yeah.
And it's just like, this is what we're recruiting to protect our nation from, like, people that really, you don't think China wants to take over the world? Who's dumb enough not to think that?
There's a lot of people who think that China doesn't want to take over. I can't tell you how many contested territories they've picked up in the last 20 years, mostly just coral reefs. But
yeah,
they've got contestants with Japan, Vietnam, the Philippines, India. We forgot all about Tibet. They're just gone. So, yeah, I would say they want to take over the world, and they've had this policy of unrestricted warfare, which means that they're not going to directly shoot at us, but they're going to do economic warfare. They're going to send bad products to us. They're going to use psychological warfare, try to undermine our deals against us.
Which it seems like it's been coming. It's been coming for the last 20, 30 years, maybe more. It's just they're doing good.
Right. And they're trying to secure the South China Sea. I know that Britain has just built a base in Malaysia to try to counter this. So they could secure oil routes to the Middle East because they plan on using more oil in the future. And that's where the confrontation's been going down for the last 10 years or so, is in the South China Sea. And they're putting a lot of pressure on Australia as well.
Right.
You know, I think some of the sanctions have cost Australians, I think it's $600 a year per person or something.
Well, back to those commercials. You watch the Chinese commercial and the Russian commercial, and they're like, the dudes are out in the snow, hard as nails, running with like wolves biting at them, and they're fighting them with their bare hands and stuff. And it's like, that's what they're teaching their soldiers.
Well, yeah.
And that's who they want in their army.
Right.
And our army is just getting softer and softer, and nobody has a problem. Well, some people have a problem with it, but people that have no business being in like a predicament where you have to fight for life or death are the ones who are being allowed to call shots for real, like people that want to be in that life or death situation. Like, I want to fight for my country. I will die for it. And then there's people that would crumble in that situation, telling them what to do. It's not a good situation.
No, it's not a good situation. We just keep doing it. Look what we did in Afghanistan. I forgot who we had there originally. I think his name started with P. But he had an affair, Petraeus.
Oh, yeah, Petraeus.
He had an affair, and he quit. I'm like, what's your personal life got to do with my national security? Fuck.
Yeah.
I just don't understand it. He could have very well been one of our great military minds, but because he had an affair and got caught.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Else, but it's ridiculous.
I mean, I remember feeling that same way about Clinton when he was getting caught and everybody's dragging him through the mud. And I was a younger man, but I was just like, what does that have to do with anything that he's doing in office?
Have sexual relations with that woman.
Yeah, it has nothing to do with his policy.
Here's something interesting I heard. There's several body language experts I follow, right? And one of them picked this up. I learned this recently, where in presidential speeches, after Bill Clinton had that affair and he went to the camera and he put his thumb in a fist,
Yeah, that whole gesture.
That replaced that.
This gesture replaced this.
With presidents, yeah. I don't know why, but some body language experts pointed it out today because he was saying he was watching Hillary's speech at the New York DNC and he didn't believe her, but he did note that she did that Clinton index or the Clinton thumb, and then he said that all the U.S. presidents have adapted that since.
I love watching the handshakes of world leaders because that's the same thing. It's like they're all trying to like alpha male the other guy out. So they're like grabbing their hand and they're shaking, and then they grab the elbow and they'll go up to the shoulder.
Pull them in.
Yeah. They're like, I'm in charge here, not you.
Yeah.
Yeah,
they all do that.
You ever study any body language?
Oh, daily.
Daily, he says he studies it.
Yeah. That's how you know how people are, how they're feeling without them saying anything.
True.
It's a simple thing to know
that and
somebody's
telepathy.
doing good.
And telepathy?
That and telepathy.
You study telepathy?
I think I do that too. I spend a lot of time around people that if they're doing good, I'm good. If they're not good, I got to figure out how to get them good so that I could be good. Because if they're not doing good, then I'm not doing good.
Mind reading.
Community.
Yeah.
Energy surfing.
It's crazy to see how someone can hold themselves in a moment of being scared or being nervous or being pissed off.
Or just having to take a piss.
Or just having to take a piss. Yeah. Or shit. They're a different look.
Ooh.
They are a different look.
Ooh. Yeah, I've seen you hold many a bathroom break, and it wasn't good.
It's not good practice. I think you fuck up your whole
Your
system
guts.
by doing that. Yeah.
Your guts, bro.
Fuck up your gut.
You got to. What's your favorite thing about body language you see on the reg?
Ooh, it's pretty amazing to make a connection with a woman that the eye contact turns into some kind of a facial recognition of an attraction to then maybe a body change also. And neither of you said anything, and you both potentially are moving. And when you finish that like quick interaction, you're like, "Holy shit, was that like the craziest thing ever?"
It's pretty toxic.
Did I try and do that? Did I do that as good as she did that? Because I feel like she did that really good. And then you're like moving on, and you'll never see her again.
This guy's a fucking creep.
Yeah. Well, no, that's the thing is you can't do that to a woman that's not giving you the feel.
Oh, that's true.
You got to. Otherwise, you're gonna be. She's gonna say something to you, make you feel uncomfortable.
Now they say that some women have like rape fantasies.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how you figured that out. Like,
who figured that out, or who did?
She might have a rape fantasy.
Yeah.
He just walks up to the girl and he like starts writing in his notebook. He's like, "This girl likes to be raped."
They say that some women have,
I mean, I don't know who's studying that, but yeah, there's somebody doing it. And how do they come to that conclusion? It seems pretty like a weird thing.
The one.
Weird thing. Now that guy's a creep.
Yeah, I mean, and say she is a woman like that. Who finds that out? Who says that? Fucking, I'll give it a shot.
He definitely got 90% of the reactions to slap, and the other 10% were like, "To be honest, this is how I feel." And he's like, "I knew it." And then the other ones made him feel like shit, but he got some to agree. So then he got his stats.
I guess so.
Stats. Oh, what was that one guy? They made a movie with Liam Neeson about this fella and his wife that studied a whole bunch of sexual weird, stuff, whatever, and they got some stats.
I don't know.
I think Laura Linney was in it and Liam Neeson.
Not sure.
So
Liam Neeson's usually in decent movies. My favorite body language thing is this: when people do this. Yes. No. There's a contradiction between their body language and the words they're saying. You'll see that a lot. That's how I know they're lying. Yes.
No.
Ah.
Look for it. You'll see it.
Well, we got the audio police here supposedly saying we got some latency on the Shore 55. And he's just going to have a panic attack.
Who's got the Shore 55? Me and you.
I got a 58. No, I got a 3.0. You got the 58.
What's up?
That's just a piece of junk. That sounds great.
This is just a pile.
That's a nice pile.
That's a pile of shit.
Looks good, though. Reminds me of like Sun Records or something.
Well, Jeffrey, we'll fix that. I'm having a lot of technical difficulty.
Yeah.
Maybe you could come over and help me out someday, but you don't like me and don't come down here no more.
Don't come down here.
You don't come over to my
You can go up there.
place. You always go to Jack's place. Yeah. Speaking of Jack, have you seen him lately?
Peeler?
Yeah.
I hope he's doing good.
He's
don't
moving.
See him enough.
Him and Barnes are both moving at the same damn time. How about that?
They should move in together.
Wow.
They should have found a place together.
Yeah, they should have. They should have gotten like the Odd Couple situation going, right? That was a good TV show. They could have a show like that now. They're getting old enough.
I don't know that show, but the sound of it, they could be an odd couple. I haven't seen Jack in a long time. But that's because he's been moving for a
Yeah,
while.
he'll be here soon enough, hanging and chilling. He says he wants to get his skate legs back, or he's jonesing to get them back.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're definitely going over today. I'm not worried about it. Are you worried about it? You got
I'm not
stuff to
worried
do?
about
Yeah,
it.
you do have stuff to do.
I do, but I'm here, and
We're gonna have to settle or sort out some of these technical difficulties with our good friend Jeffrey. He says, "Come see me." I know that everybody is up there last week, man, and I didn't go up there for the Saranac Lake. Did you go to Saranac Lake, Jeff? But yeah, I should go see him. That's a good thing. That's a good question. That's a good demand. What else have we got to talk about? Do we want to go a little long today?
It doesn't matter to me.
You got stuff you got to do?
Move, but
Move.
that's it.
We gotta sell some shirts. That's one thing. We gotta sell some wax. I gotta get onto the production again. It's like I've been doing this stuff, so I haven't been able to print those things.
mm-hmm.
And I know you want to help print the 3-color.
I'm excited for the 3-color.
Mm-hmm.
I think you gotta get that. You gotta get that out there. This one's great.
What's that one there?
That's the concrete carney.
This is an elaborate design. It's probably really hard for you at home to see it.
That's why we got to get the close-up cam to
But
action.
that one's fucking great.
Yeah, if you want to take a closer look at the design, you can go to marsrats.com. Take a look. It's a collabo with Jasper and I. Now he doesn't know what he's doing.
No, we're good.
Hanging it back up.
We're good.
What else? I got this other thing here.
Yeah, send it.
This one is one I thought was funny. There's an article in the Jacobin written by Luke Savage, and it was about dark money and dark money in politics, or corporate money that's hidden, that's given to politicians. He claimed that the DNC accepts more dark money than the RNC, which I don't doubt, but I was just really curious how he knew that. Like, if it's secret, hidden money, how do you know who has it and who doesn't? I read the whole article and I kept thinking to myself.
Well, that's another issue with today's sourcing. Is like that whole idea has gone out the window. Like that you have a source.
Right.
It doesn't matter. It's like, you know what? I went over to this other news place and they said it, so I'm going to say it.
Right.
And it's just that circular logic you were talking about.
That's like Jake Sullivan when the reporter asked him, what information do we have that they're going to attack, that Russia's going to attack Ukraine? He's like, I just said it.
Yeah, I just gave you it. He's
What evidence do we have? I just told you.
mm-hmm.
No, you just told me. You didn't give me
And they've been coming out saying we're going to attack every day since then. They're like, no, they're definitely doing it this day, tomorrow.
They're attacking right now.
Yeah. They are?
No.
They are? They are?
Right now.
You get everybody worried. Breaking news. There might have been something else here I had to ask you, and I skipped over because we were just breaking it up. But I know there was something else here that I wanted to ask you. This is the question from the movie Conan the Barbarian. And the question is, what is best in life? There's a couple people out there that know the answer.
I don't know the answer.
Well, I'm asking for your answer, not the actual movie quote.
Best in life? Fuck,
It's not
happiness. That's mine. That's the best in life.
Just the happiness, yeah?
Yep. I like being happy.
There you go, folks. The happiness. That's...
What do you got to complain about if you're happy?
Yeah.
That's the best to me. I Being happy.
The happiness.
What's the best in life? Good fucking question.
It's a big question. When I was writing that down, I was thinking about that for myself, and I'm
What do you
like,
think?
I have no fucking clue, man. What is best in life? I don't know.
This little dog.
Well, that's pretty good.
This little thing.
That's tough to say.
See that thing?
I know what I value most.
It's
in
a
life,
good
but
question to ask yourself.
I don't know what's best. I would say. But then again, I guess if someone were able to see that what I value in life, if someone can clearly see what I value in life most, I guess that would be best in life. Well, what I value most is my integrity. And so if I get seen as an integral person and treated like one, I guess that's good.
Mm-hmm. So, all right. Well, I think we're good to wrap it up. But before we do, we're gonna ask Barnes, who is towing the line this week.
Oh man. I'm gonna have to give it to the Ontario Mounties and SWAT teams.
Oh yeah,
Ontario out there, up in Ottawa, up in the snow Mexicans. Get rounded up, stealing truckers' accounts and rounding them up and releasing them because they didn't break any laws, I guess.
People, yeah, should be scared. They should be scared when governments are starting to just take your money out of the bank and just close it. And this has been happening through corporations here in America too, and that's why people are so frightened. And nobody, they're just like, oh, you're being over dramatic. And it's like, what, when a bank company or like a credit card company can just say, no, we're not going to work with you anymore because we don't like what you're saying.
Right. Yeah,
that's called tyranny.
It is tyranny.
But anyway, so yeah, they're towing the line for
I saw Brian Seltzer,
for our friend. Where's our friend at? We gotta see our friend.
Yeah. More
They're
times.
towing.
He's done this more
There
times
he
than
is.
he can count.
They're towing the line for this guy.
I saw Brian Seltzer ask
I wonder if we could just move
Jen
him.
Psaki if they're covering the White House right.
He can just sit next to you. That's
so how many years ago was this photo?
He can't recall.
That's the official answer.
He wore blackface more times than he can count. He said.
He said that?
Yeah, more than he recall or something like that.
Wow. Well, and one more thing. Besides, what must we forget this week?
Oh man.
It's probably we just got to forget.
There's so many. You're supposed to wear a mask whenever it was at the Super Bowl.
Oh yeah, we got to forget that the virus kills people or something. I don't know.
There's all kinds of stuff we gotta forget this week.
It's like
I think that's a good one to forget. Let's forget that the virus kills people. Not that it doesn't kill people, or that it has.
The spine thing on the White House is weird. Even the DNC response saying that happened to Obama. Wait a second, so you were spying on Obama? What are they getting at?
Yeah, that doesn't make. I saw that too, and I'm like, well, what are you trying to say? Either they were doing it during his administration, so either they were doing it to him as well, or it was him doing it to someone else. You're really not helping your cause out by saying that.
I don't want you spying on Obama either. What are you talking about?
Mm-hmm. Well, it looks like Hale is over it as well. Well, we'd like to thank everybody for tuning in this week.
Thanks for watching.
Thank you. Maybe I can get this awesome tech guy down here to help me figure stuff out because he's so goddamn smart, Mr. Jeffrey.
That's a Saratoga tech guy.
Yeah. Jasper, you have anything to say?
Thank you guys for having me. It was fun talking with you, learning from you.
You'll be back, I'm sure.
Look forward to watching more of your guys' discussions and from being able to learn from you because I don't watch much on my own. So if I watch what you guys are doing, then I could feel like I'm at least getting some good information.
You can be informed a little, but there's that always ignorance is bliss, baby.
There we go.
You gotta watch CNN to really know what's
Yeah. And look forward to seeing more and more people get excited to watch you guys, because it seems like it's going to be something that people will get hyped on and want to keep tuning in.
Hopefully we'll garner an audience.
Yeah.
Well, I'm definitely stoked to keep the show rolling, do some other stuff like video. Like, I know me and you have tons of footy that we could cut and clip and use for whatever else. I don't know, but we got too much footage from all over the place not to just do something with.
Mm-hmm.
And that could be segments on the show here or on something else, who knows, just on the Mars Rats channel. But we're definitely going to have you back on.
Cool.
As a reoccurring guest.
And look forward to seeing what other people come and hang out with you guys.
Yep.
Yep. Yep.
Aw, Hayla. She's getting the love. So, one more thing, maybe before we go. I put this together last week, and I didn't play it, so I'm going to play it this week before we're out of here. So let's just check it.
Is brought to you by Pfizer.
Oh, that's not it. No.
Go to MarsRats.com and get Namaskate t-shirts, Concrete Carney shirts, Rat Wax, and the Mars baseball tee in yellow or black. Go to MarsRats.com and help support this show.
All right. So, yeah, that was just a little something. Maybe it'll get... What is this? Oh, it's your buddy. I keep forgetting he pops up every time we go to the main shot.
I'm waiting for him to pop.
Here's your real buddy, though. I got your money. I got it. I've got your money. All you truckers. He's like the Wicked Witch of the North for truckers.
Yeah, I guess so. I hope they do something. I don't want him here, so I hope they do something with him.
Oh, man. All righty, folks. Thanks for tuning in. Make sure you subscribe. We need the subscribers, so we need that count to go up. It's going to help us out a lot.
Tell your enemies about the show.
And tell everybody who,
Stop what you're doing.
Just tell them to stop. Remember to snatch a phone from a child's hands and go to their Facebook and subscribe, and their YouTube and subscribe, and their Instagram and subscribe. Just every little kid.
You go into your girlfriend's account, right? And you subscribe her to this channel.
Any last words? Anybody?
You go find your mom's pocketbook. You take $20 out of there. She won't notice. You donate it to the channel.
This is not financial advice. Okay, everybody. Have a good night. Have a great weekend.
Barnes, Brando, thanks for having me.
Thanks for being here, Jasper.
Thank you for being here.
Great night.
All right. We out.